Brian, Kiki, and I are up near Chickadee Ridge. We're gonna head out for the night. It'll be my first time taking Kiki out in the snow overnight. Come to think of it, I think it's my first time taking any dog overnight on a snow trip. So that'll be interesting. Brian and I both have new 4-season tents we want to test out. So kind of an easier hike, familiar territory. It's an area we've been a number of times, and I've posted 2 or 3 videos up here. But mostly this trip is just for testing out new gear and seeing how Kiki does in the snow overnight. Stopping for our first break. Made it up over the first climb of the day, kind of the first big hurdle. Probably not going super far in today, just up in and around Chickadee Ridge. Find a good spot, set up camp, and just relax and enjoy everything. Just popped up over this first ridge, got our first views of Lake Tahoe. It's a gorgeous day, a little bit cloudy, but nothing sketchy or scary. I think we're in for a good trip. Absolutely gorgeous view of Lake Tahoe right behind us. We're about halfway up the last climb before we start looking for a place to camp. It's still just absolutely gorgeous day. Temperature's dropping a little bit. I think we might be in for a pretty cold night, but we are prepared for that. All of our warm gear, sleeping bags, and extra clothes and stuff. So it's beautiful out here. I don't think I'd want to be anyplace else today. Well, looks like we found home for the night. Pretty much just the top of Chickadee Ridge. Digging out our tent sites and settling in for what might be a very cold night. Well, we got our campsites all set up. Dug some pretty good trenches for the tents. There's enough daylight left that most of our stuff will probably dry out a little bit more before the real cold starts. Kiki is having a wonderful time tromping through the snow. I'm excited for tonight, and I don't think you're going to be able to argue with our morning view. So it's just a little after 3 in the afternoon. We're already pretty much losing our daylight, and it's about 25 degrees. So we are definitely in for a chilly night. We're gonna dip into the teens, I think, for sure. So we'll see how that goes. But we found ourselves a good campsite. Got a pretty decent wind block. It's part of the adventure. Figured to give you a quick tour inside my tent, show you what I bring for Kiki to sleep on and what I'm sleeping in. So let's check it out. So we can start with Kiki's bed. She's got this flannel sleeping bag all her own. It's really thick. She's built for the cold, so she doesn't need much more than this. And she's on top of a Thermarest Ridgecrest insulated pad. So keep her off the snow and give her a little extra warmth. I have my hike and bike 0 degree bag, and now I've talked about this in other videos, but I'll touch on it real quick. The ratings of sleeping bags can be deceiving. This bag, although rated for 0 degrees, means I'll survive in 0 degrees. I won't necessarily be comfortable, but I won't die. And I am sleeping on my Climate Static V insulated pad, which has an R value of 4.9. I've used that alone on the snow several times and never had a bad night's sleep. Well, we made it through the night. It was very cold, but all the gear did great. The sleeping bag keeps me nice and warm. I've used that one a few times. The new tent did pretty good. There was some condensation issues, but I kind of expected that with a solid wall tent like that. Even being a double wall, there's not a lot of mesh or ventilation, so that was to be expected, but it wasn't terrible. It was totally manageable. It's time for some breakfast and hike on out of here.